Jorius, I put him, I think, at my number 8 spot in the world. So Mawkzy Jorius was the highest rated match that we've had so far. This is going to surpass it with Mawkzy over TRK. Mawkzy or Was would, of course, be the top one. But it's time to get started on France's last hope. Mawkzy up against Saudi Arabia's TRK. He vacated the top spot when he stopped his activity, or at least reduced his activity in the one scene. And he's back to show that he's never really fallen off in level. But back when TRK was number 1, I'm talking not talking long ago, I'm talking 4 or 5 months ago, TRK was undisputed number 1, didn't matter who you asked. I talked to all the top tier players, they all said, yeah, TRK is the guy everybody wants to beat, he's the guy everybody wants to play. Back then, Mawkzy's flicks were not where they are now. Mawkzy's taken his flick game to a whole new level since the last time these two played. I think they've only played once in one of Fear's qualifiers and TRK won it. So Mawkzy's already up 1 here. And I do expect to see plenty flicks rocketing into the roof of the net as this series goes on. Mawkzy lining one up here. It's not going to be as powerful. And when he beat Jorius yesterday, Jorius described Mawkzy as predictable but perfect. So TRK should know what he's up against here. He should know that Mawkzy is going to be looking to snipe the top left corner with flicks every time he has the opportunity. It's his favorite side because that's the best side for his aerial controls. But that's not going to mean that Mawkzy is just going to rely on the aerial game to win this for him, I think, or rely on the flick game. I think he's also got, you know, great positioning, he's got great speed. And that is already going to be 1 goal from a flick, but he's up 3. We've had a shot, a counter-attack, and now a top corner flick. TRK looking a bit stranded in all 3 instances. Mawkzy's wave dash kickoff doing work for him as well. He's confident enough to start with the aerial plays. Triple reset attempted. He landed it. Actually leaned into a block on TRK's attempt to clear. And what's TRK got in mind? He really did outplay Dark in the aerial game when they matched up earlier on today. No doubt he'll be looking to do the same thing to Mawkzy here. He'll fancy his chances in that aspect of the game. Oh, Mawkzy's going to keep him at bay for now though. TRK trying to shoot low under him. Mawkzy's boost runs out. Eventually TRK gets his opening goal. Now, Atto in his previous match with Mawkzy, they played yesterday, had a lot of success with the aerial plays. I don't know if TRK would have watched that one, but I would guess that he didn't. He doesn't tend to watch much Rocket League as far as I'm aware. Just plays Rocket League. Yeah, TRK's aerial game that he had on display earlier on against Dark will do the trick. If Atto was able to make his work yesterday against Mawkzy, TRK's looked to be at a similar level to that earlier this same day. He's 50-50 to goal in there from point blank range. Tries to trip up Mawkzy in the aftermath of this kickoff. Mawkzy skips right past him. This will tell us a lot about Mawkzy's intentions. He doesn't shoot first time. He sets up that same flick and it's the same destination every single time. It doesn't even matter if you know where it's going, because you'll position like you would for anyone else, and then Mawkzy just flicks it faster than anyone else. You might be wondering, well, if Mawkzy always flicks the ball to that top corner, why don't players move further across their goal to cover it? And the reason is, it's very difficult if you move too far forward to then stop and jump up vertically to save a shot to the top right corner of your goal. Much easier to advance, much easier to continue going forward from starting off at the back post like that. Or starting off the near post, I mean to say. Of course, it does leave the far post top corner wide open. TRK is trying to bump Mawkzy, more like helps him. And look at this, Mawkzy's up by 4 now. He's just completely unstoppable with his offense in game number 1. Now, there's been a lot of questions about this format. Some people think that 3 series in a row too much for 1v1. Mawkzy's going to try and prove that it's not. Great pre-jump save there by Mawkzy. He's perfectly predicted where TRK intends to shoot the ball. TRK just going for a one and done offensive play there. Mawkzy flicks it top corner again. It's top left again. This time from the left side of the field. And look at TRK's eyes on this. I mean, yeah, you've just got no chance. It's in your net at a ridiculous rate. This is what I'm talking about. You know, Mawkzy, back when TRK was #1, didn't have this flick available to him. He had a good flick, but not this one. And, you know, some scary news for the rest of the ones world is that Mawkzy's learning air roll right now, as well as air roll left. Nice double by TRK. So right now, he's got air roll left, and that's why his flick to the left is so powerful, is because he uses air roll left to really launch that as he's dodging through the ball. He's learning air roll right so that he can do it both ways. Imagine Mawkzy being able to do the same flick in both directions. It's already unsavable, never mind when he can shoot it to both corners on demand. Well, TRK got left. He's going to try and advance slowly here. Mawkzy knows not to jump out of the way of the ball when TRK is behind it. TRK gets a bit of a freebie. Mawkzy panicking. No need to go back and watch the goal though. This is perfectly fine to leave when your opponent's the one trailing. It's on them to score as quickly as possible. TRK is starting to clutch it up here though. Mawkzy forced to pre-flip into an interception. He wins the possession of the kickoff. That wave dash recovery and pre-flip doing work for him. TRK advances further, and this time he does get a save. He's adapted there to cover a little bit more of that far post top corner and just narrowly saves it into the bar. It was a great effort, but my goodness, you've got to play that so perfectly to have any chance of saving one of these flicks from Mawkzy. Does it again. This one's a much slower one. He didn't get the right contact on it, but it's going to be more than fine for Mawkzy if he can let the clock do the work for him. That's exactly what he's doing. He's just playing away from TRK here. TRK's reverse challenge, too obvious, outplayed. Mawkzy will slow roll him for an 8th goal, removing another couple of seconds that TRK desperately needs in order for a comeback to be possible. Pretty even game, all things considered, apart from the flick game. Like expected, Mawkzy's got the better flick out of the two players. TRK, I think, has the better aerial offensive package. But Mawkzy has really forced this to be all about him. TRK launches a double reset into the bar. He's trying to get something going at the end of the game. Mawkzy will gladly accept the 9th goal. Yeah, this would be surrender territory. TRK going to stick around and learn as much as he can, glean as much information as he can from this first game. Doesn't win a kickoff by forcing it to the outside. So TRK is quite interested in warming up his offense as much as he can at the end of this game. Doesn't want to rush into the second game of the series. He knows now more than ever he's facing something he's never faced before. Mawkzy puts France in front. Just remember, guys, next time that someone asks you, next time you see somebody say in a, well, especially in reference to 3v3, you know, I see so many comments in RLCS Reddit threads and on Twitter and all that, where people are discussing, you know, are we close to the skill ceiling in competitive RL? And the answer is such an obvious no. I don't know why people even have to ask. Like, Mawkzy's the only one who can flick like this consistently. Dark's the only one pogoing on anyone at a high level. Like, there's so many one-off players in the one scene who are just doing things differently from everyone else. And we've got people asking, are we close to the skill ceiling? I think we're absolutely nowhere near. Until every RLCS pro can flick like Mawkzy, pogo like Dark, defend like Rawas, you know, then we can talk about skill ceiling. And even then, I don't think any of them have peaked there. I don't think Mawkzy's perfect in his flicks. I don't think Rawas is perfect in his defense. Dark's perfect in his pogos. They're just the best in those elements. But so many more levels to go with this game. Let's see if we'll get any more in game 2. TRK forcing Mawkzy to own goal. Will put himself 2 goals in front. It looks like he's figured out a good kickoff winning strategy at the end of this first game that he was losing. He did stick around right until the end just to see some more kickoffs, I would imagine, and figure out if he can start to actually win some instead of losing out to Mawkzy's wave dash a bunch. TRK prefers to challenge early. Mawkzy sees it coming. From that kind of range, I think TRK wanted absolutely nothing to do with Mawkzy's top corner flicks, but challenge wasn't effective either. Mawkzy is going to be on the lookout whenever TRK is in the back corner. He does like to grab that back corner boost and then challenge straight away. Mawkzy's ball in the back corner. TRK does play it. That's probably a surprise for Mawkzy, who would have expected a drive-by demo perhaps. Both players miss on the rebound attempt. It looked like Mawkzy was trying to shoot that underneath TRK. He's got TRK in a terrible position here though. TRK somehow manages to hold his nerve and not just throw himself at the ball, but Mawkzy's got all the boosts here. TRK has to settle for a small pad. Mawkzy's stolen everything away from around the box. TRK just circling, looking for 12 pads as he goes. Again, it's Mawkzy with the flick out play. Early challenges forced from TRK by the game 1 flick success from Mawkzy. And now these early challenges are being countered. Mawkzy's on the lookout for them. He always does this to people. He forces them to adapt their defensive game by showing them that it is not possible to save his flicks from the goal line. And then when they start to challenge earlier, he just starts to flick earlier. It's such a great winning strategy that he's figured out. He plays it better than anyone else. Fake hook shot from Mawkzy. Cuts it the other way. TRK will block. Preferring to dribble here. TRK back into the air after initially catching the ball. Decided not to take the boost as he left. That's going to be a bit of a struggle to get back. Mawkzy perfectly places the open net shot. It's not an entirely open net, but the bottom corner certainly is. That needed to be placed well. TRK was in the area. Great decision here from Mawkzy. Or is it? Wait a second. How has TRK gotten that much power on that? Well, I stand corrected. Wave dash gets TRK into position. And Mawkzy did not get the ball to go far enough. It was a good idea to take it to the back corner with a high pop like that, because usually when you're popping the ball high into the corner, your boost starved opponent can't shoot it until you've got the boost and are in position to make a save. But Mawkzy underhits it, and TRK immediately punished him with a tie game. Big challenge from TRK. Has to be careful here as he flies onto the backboard. He lands well. Mawkzy running away rapidly, doesn't want to leave himself in a position to be demoed. TRK hiding behind the ball once again. He's switched it up a little bit here, a bit more of a defensive, passive stance. Mawkzy still able to find a way through. Multiple fake challenges from TRK. But much like Mawkzy before him, he loses control in the back corner just ever so slightly. Mawkzy noticed the mistake and took a very safe, challenging angle. Set himself up for a fourth goal. TRK again going infield. Oh, he's flicked over Mawkzy here. That's really well played. Mawkzy must have thought that he was sneaking in a challenge in this position. It's so difficult to see this coming because Mawkzy's hidden himself behind the ball on that entire approach, but TRK just smelled it on the turn. Well, most players would back off there, so that's a really good spot by TRK to not fall for this one. Is this the last game? If TRK wins, yes. If Mawkzy wins, no. If Mawkzy wins, then Saudi Arabia will send out either Naupo or Rawas to play against him next. And we could end up going all the way to 5. Oh, wow. That is a huge mistake. TRK got gifted the possession by a low flick from Mawkzy. I think he might have been trying a bit too hard to control that ball instead of just making sure that he's got the save. Good speed. Mawkzy too quick with the recovery after the kickoff. TRK just had one 12 boost pad left. That was not enough. You know, just like Monkey Moon in the previous series, we're not seeing that much in the way of adaptation from TRK in the kickoffs. He's just forcing it left, forcing it right, trying to get perfect contacts on the ball. TRK will get one back. That's well worked, actually. Flick wasn't anything to write home about, but he spotted a chance to counter Mawkzy's loose touch there. Mawkzy probably expected TRK to just run into the corner for the boost, tried to keep it close to himself. That actually just gave TRK a chance to take the ball and put it in the net. And TRK flicks high, 6 around and ties the game. Strong kickoffs for TRK now. Fakes the shot one way, manages to knock it over the top of Mawkzy, who is sitting on the near post back wall. That's a good bounce for TRK. He'll be glad to see that one up in the air. Mawkzy advances and takes the ball anyway. TRK shutting the door at the near post. Either player wanting to flip into the ball while the other is driving away there. They're trying to make sure that if they do flip, the other player's flipping as well. Mawkzy to himself. A little bit of a run up and a mind game. Sets up the boost steal. TRK is wasting time quite well though. Fake wall challenge does nothing. Mawkzy's on the ball with a flip. Looking for the bump, and TRK has to shrug it off. He does well to recover. TRK understanding there that if he slowed down the ball into a shootable position, he would have died to Mawkzy's demo. So that's really smart to just continue dribbling the ball over the goal. TRK trying to catch Mawkzy out of position. Mawkzy's boost advantage makes up for it. That's what TRK's faking challenges behind the ball every time is. Big difference from faking a challenge where your opponent can see you. When you're showing a fake challenge to your opponent, it's obviously a mind game in and of itself. Oh dear, well, TRK has just completely misplayed that one, and Mawkzy drops the incoming quick chat. We saw this yesterday versus Troyes, and Troyes didn't appreciate it all that much. Mawkzy trying to get under the skin of his opponent once again. With just 19 seconds to go. Looks like it's his game to lose. He's bumped TRK away from the ball. Mawkzy in full control. Doesn't even need to double up. He's just being careful here. TRK takes his time. Delays his flick. Oh, he's 50-50'd it in. Well, that is clutch. TRK goes low on 0 seconds. Mawkzy pre-jumped high, or challenge high, I should say. He thought that the ball would be on the ground on 0 seconds as long as he forced it downwards. It barely crossed the line. That's how much time he had left. That little window between TRK hitting the ball there and the game ending. Much less than a second. TRK's got a good chance to win it all right now. Oh, that's a great touch by Mawkzy. That touch denies TRK the back corner boost grab, but I think Mawkzy's blundered. Indeed he has. Oh, well, he did the hard part. That touch there denied TRK the back corner boost, but instead of playing the ball, Mawkzy went for the boost as well, and he throws away what I think could have been an advantageous position off the back of a very good save. It's not a good save because the shot was particularly difficult to keep out the net. It's a good save because the clear would usually lead to TRK stealing the boost and taking the ball away, which of course did not happen. And no quick chat receipt there from TRK. He just let Mawkzy have that one. I mean, it must have been tempting. If that's me, if I score a 1 second remaining 50-50 goal after my opponent's gone up with just 17 seconds left and quick chatted incoming, what I'm doing is I'm going straight to the menu. I'm doing this. I'm going to chat. I'm adding incoming to my bar, and then I'm using it against them. It just, you know, it's a must in my opinion. That would have been me. No, TRK is just doesn't care. He just continues chugging along, trying to finish the tournament the same way that Saudi Arabia's A team have gone through every round so far, with 3 straight series wins. Sometimes it's better to say nothing. Yeah, he could also be taking the Khaled versus Astral approach. You never know. Like by the end of the series, if Mawkzy's quick chat at a whole bunch, and TRK says nothing, we could see a flurry of quick chat before GG's at the end of the series. I'm sure Mawkzy would have a good laugh about that, though. He's usually quite lighthearted about the whole thing. I feel like Mawkzy needs to put TRK away early. He seems to improve game to game. He really does adapt well to his opponent. Game 1, Mawkzy was flicking with such success that you thought it looked unwinnable for TRK, but game 2, I mean, were there that many Mawkzy flicks? I don't think so. And most of that's due to TRK's positioning with his defensive challenges, with his fake challenges, with his lunges. I mean, he just managed to silence Mawkzy's flick game after one game. He had to save, I think, one flick, and that was all. Mawkzy's got plenty other things to go to. That just shows the brilliance of TRK, that he adapts so quickly. Such a dangerous opponent with one of the best offensive weapons in the entire ones world. Are we going to see it again? A little bit, but not the most powerful flick by Mawkzy standards. No, TRK is just too quick to the ball. His first flick didn't really go too far. Mawkzy hesitated, worried about the demo bid looks of things. He really did run away quite a distance into the corner there. That must mean that Mawkzy was worried TRK was going to land in front of the ball and just chase him down for the demo. So he gave a bit of space, and TRK had no interest in demoing. Notice, again, I think Mawkzy's picked up on this tendency from TRK. When TRK grabs the back corner boost, he turns and challenges. That's a second or third time that this has happened after a kickoff. He's not faking challenges in that position. He's not shadowing in that position. He's just turning. Will he do it again? Now, this time it's more of TRK's ball, and Mawkzy doesn't have enough boost to take it. But you know, those are things that Mawkzy will be looking out for. His, you know, a lot of his game plan and offense is him trying to pay attention to how his opponent is looking to counter his ace that he's got up his sleeve. How they choose to counter his flick game is what he'll be looking to identify, so that he can counter the counter. Great snipe by TRK. Very concise counter attack. Just a nice little first touch there. Wave dash in the landing to get in front of the ball or alongside it. And a perfect shot as well. TRK's turned the series on its head. It was all Mawkzy. Made it look easy almost. The way that he just knows exactly what to do. He's got Mawkzy in a panic there. The fake challenge got Mawkzy to jump for no reason, and TRK's follow-up shot sticks the ball in the top corner again. Well, this tournament is looking to be quite scripted. We're following many of the same footsteps that the real World Cup did. I think that the only top 8 teams that we've got from the actual World Cup that were in this one were England and France, right? Spain didn't make... Did Spain make top 8 in the World Cup? The actual World Cup? I don't think they did, right? If they did, they definitely didn't make it past the quarters. Where did Spain go out? Did they go out in the last 16? Or they did? Best, they got 16? Yeah, I thought they went out earlier, so... Yeah, the French and the English teams have had the exact same finishes if France lose this as they did in the actual World Cup, 2nd and 8th. We'll have to wait and see if TRK can close this out. It's early days yet. Mawkzy is a player who's able to produce a flurry of goals in quick succession. TRK at the moment is in full control. Mawkzy's going to need to jump here. He does, and TRK just goes under him. There's no goal yet, but time is being wasted by TRK. It's frustrating for Mawkzy. He knows that his options will be limited later as another 50-50 goes in. TRK is just threatening shots and following them all up with solid 50-50 challenges. 7-3 in game 3. What has Mawkzy got? When the flick game starts to fizzle, when the early outplays start to become fewer and further between, TRK is starting to now beat Mawkzy to the ball, even in position where TRK doesn't have boost. The mind game is successful, and Mawkzy forfeits with 70 seconds left on the clock. He's on his last life, and France are on their last life. TRK is back with a bang. Of course, my intelligence is going to feel really good if TRK wins this, because I think, didn't I put TRK 5 and Mawkzy 6 in my rankings, and you guys were all complaining. I just want to remind you, all of you are complaining in my chat, Mawkzy 6, cringe. But you know, sometimes 1v1 is scripted. Can Mawkzy fight back? TRK has got his number right now. He's just winning the skirmishes. He's beating Mawkzy to the ball, even when TRK doesn't have boost available. That's a very lucky exchange there for TRK, though. He got outplayed, but Mawkzy accidentally bumped TRK into a recovery as he flicked the ball past him. TRK, wave dash shot to the bottom left off the post. He has got such a great strategy right now. Mawkzy does not know how to deal with him. When we compare this last game and this one to game 1, it is night and day. You know, the night in game 1 was Mawkzy just attacking with something that TRK couldn't stop. See, something TRK couldn't figure out. Now it's the other way around. TRK's attack seems to just be unstoppable. Mawkzy can't read him. He can't predict where TRK is shooting. He can't predict if TRK is shooting half the time. Meanwhile, TRK has completely nullified Mawkzy's midfield control. He has completely turned around Mawkzy's game against him. The flicks are occasionally still doing work for Mawkzy. He needs something else. He needs to surprise TRK at some point. So right now it's just too easy for the great Saudi Arabian player. Some people would say the GOAT Saudi Arabian player, although there are 3 names in that discussion if you include 1s and 2s. TRK is looking to put this away in style. Hard shot straight at Mawkzy, and there was no reaction. It's all about the power here. Mawkzy tripped off the post, it would seem, as well. Some misplay, there's no doubt about it. He would have probably saved that if he didn't trip off the post on his approach to the goal. TRK forces another kickoff win around the outside. He just knows that Mawkzy doesn't have a shot in that position. He's not worried about anything. He's got a great read on Mawkzy as he runs away from a couple of demo attempts. Pops the ball effortlessly over him. TRK is just 5 steps ahead of Mawkzy right now. He has completely turned this one into a one-sided series somehow. Started off with a Mawkzy win, a comfortable Mawkzy win in game 1. Then it was a closely fought TRK win. Then it was a pretty one-sided win. Mawkzy forfeits early, and now it's 5-0 in 90 seconds. There's something about TRK's 1v1 IQ that causes problems. Well, there's lots of things about it that cause problems for his opponents. You know, he was undefeated in best of ones until Yan took him down in the world's show matches. But it seems like the series format suits him even better. He's gotten stronger and stronger with every passing game. Against Dark earlier today in the semi, and now against Mawkzy today as well, and even against Chronic in the quarterfinal. Every passing game just gets even more TRK favoured until eventually his opponent is no match for him. TRK effortlessly sets himself up for success and then pats himself on the back with a top corner finish. There's still so long left for Mawkzy, but he has nothing going his way right now. TRK has started to win the kickoffs. He's turned that aspect of the game around, which used to be, if not Mawkzy favoured, at least even. Whenever Mawkzy tries to catch TRK out of position, it's like TRK is the one catching him, and oh my goodness, there it is. He waited till 7-0 in game 4, but the incoming spam is here. TRK spots the early challenge a mile away and flicks it into the open net from distance. Mawkzy says bro added it to his quick chat. He went for the Khaled strat. He didn't wait as late as Khaled, but I mean, this is kind of the same, isn't it? It's over. It should be over, unless Mawkzy can pull out the best 1v1 comeback in the history of the game. And again, I'm not exaggerating. If Mawkzy comes back from 7 goals down against TRK, that's the best comeback I've ever seen. Because that would equal the biggest comeback I've ever seen. But the biggest one was Rob against Growly, which, you know, no disrespect to them, is not the same caliber of matchup. as Mawkzy versus TRK. Well, hold on a second, look at the clock here. We've got 2 minutes and 42 seconds left. This is like mathematically not even close to being done. Just with the way the series is being played, it looked like it was a completely done deal. It should still be. I mean, if TRK plays this one out carefully, he cannot lose. He just needs to chill, wait in defense, stall. But that's not what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. He's beamed it, and Mawkzy's away for the third goal. Well, well, well. As TRK gotten inside his own head with the trash talk, because since he's dropped those 3 incomings in the chat, he's lost 3 goals. Surely not. Surely it can't be that scripted. There has to be absolutely no way that Mawkzy comes back here. That's a good recovery though, a great effort. Quick landing on the wall gave him a fast track back to the ball. Mawkzy cannot afford to concede again. He needs to keep this momentum up. He needs to keep the pressure on TRK. And TRK is refusing to back down. Has Mawkzy sniped him though? I think he has. TRK is overextended. Oh, Mawkzy, surely! No, it's out! It's in! TRK didn't know where to go. He had to stop just to not own goal. And he couldn't get the ball off the goal line before Mawkzy put it in. We have a 3-goal game. It is a very realistic chance of a comeback happening. This is unthinkable. Mawkzy's actually scoring here. Oh, he nearly had it. The bump was there. Great shot by Mawkzy. TRK's going to try and double it. He almost had that one as well. He's scrambling here. He's left the net pretty open. A great call. TRK just plays the ball. He knew that there was a likelihood of a mind game there. And finally he puts an end to Mawkzy's momentum, and he's right back to spamming incoming. TRK is an absolute animal. But he's not out of the woods yet. Right now he is definitely a woodland animal, because there is plenty time left for Mawkzy. And like I said before, Mawkzy does have the capability to score goals in quick succession. He's got a very high output of offense and a very efficient setup as well that he can go to every single time. It's just about getting TRK off the ball, because once TRK is on the ball, it just feels like eventually he's going to score. This could be one more for TRK. He's just going to let Mawkzy have it though. That's very disciplined play from TRK. It's so tempting to just smash in a 9th goal there, but you're really just running the risk of conceding a 5th if you do so. Mawkzy needs a goal. Oh, and he's going to get one. Look at that play. Listen, to go for the outplay in a position like this, that takes a lot of guts. To control a flick like that and not put it too far away from the goal. Pure perfection. 3-goal difference again. Mawkzy hanging on, keeping France in the tournament for now. TRK takes another kick-off possession away from him. Mawkzy having to waste a little bit of time here. He's threatening a counter-attack at least. He's got something in this position. Mawkzy actually convinced TRK that he was hitting that ball. Here's the flick, and there's the goal. And this is why you never want to count Mawkzy out. He can score so quickly. He can turn any play into a goal in the blink of an eye, because he's got the best flick in the entire world. 2 goals in it. Can Mawkzy win the kickoff? This is absolutely winnable. What a comeback we're witnessing. Wave dash is there. The bump is not. TRK pretending to go for this. Mawkzy does not panic though. And look at this. Back on the ground. Oh, great fake challenge by TRK. Mawkzy thought that surely had to be a real one from that range. Now we're getting out of time here. TRK snipes Mawkzy with the demo. And he's going to run it to the back corner to give Mawkzy absolutely no chance. Mawkzy just has to send it here. He needs a demo in the back corner. Not going to happen. TRK wins it for KSA. And Mawkzy will drop an incoming as the ball goes towards his own net before the good games get called. It was a great game at the end. What a comeback by Mawkzy. He really rattled TRK at the end there. TRK was sweating. He had to play for a time-wasting play, a demo play, a fake challenge. Like, those are some sweaty plays at the end of the game, but that's why TRK is and always will be one of the best in the world. He just figures out his opponents. It started off with Mawkzy in control. I mean, just the scoreline summaries really tell you all you need to know about TRK. It's fascinating. First round, he loses a game to Chronic, then goes from there 6-3, 10-6, 7-3. Every game more comfortable or equally as comfortable as the last. Semi-final, TRK goes 7-5, 9-4, 8-1. More comfortable every single game. Now, right now against Mawkzy, he loses game 1, wins game 2 in overtime, and then controls game 3 completely. And initially, before I think he got inside his own head with the trash talk, had a 7-0 lead on Mawkzy, which is something you'd never see these days. Just absolutely insane. Yeah, Saudi Arabia 2, good. I don't think it would have mattered who played them in this tournament. They were just on a different level. To beat these 3 players back to back to back is just a feat. I don't think anyone's doing that. You know, USA's A-team lost to the same team that got annihilated by Saudi Arabia's A-team. I'm pretty sure on EU server, a similar thing would have happened to USA's A-team in hindsight. Because, yeah, these guys really showed up in ridiculously impressive form and just swept the entire tournament. However, I do want to say that I could see an actual LAN of this with everybody on low ping being a lot more competitive, being super competitive. I think if, you know, we had a LAN with low ping, Brazil would be a team to be reckoned with. I think USA would be better than they were in this format because they just weren't able to play as well on EU servers. And yeah, I was very impressed by France. They didn't get, you know, if Juicy wins that first series and Mawkzy wins game 2 overtime against TRK, this could look very different. But yeah, I'd still have Saudi Arabia winning. That's why I said even if Juicy wins, I still think Saudi Arabia wins because Rawas and TRK are just ridiculous. But yeah, shout out to all the players for making this possible. I asked them all exactly a week ago, pretty much, if they wanted to play this. Well, let me see. What was the first game? It was this one. Yeah, on December 15th. So notice that we started this tournament on December 16th. On December 15th, one day before this event, I messaged all these players and asked if they wanted to play it. And they all said, yeah, let's run it. So yeah, super last minute, just like spur of the moment kind of thing, which is often how you have to run things in the one scene, because it's just, yeah, it's a very, very difficult year to make events happen in when there's so much RLCS going on. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyable series. Really, really enjoyable tournament. I hope you guys like the format as much as I did. I really had a good time with this, and a lot of players were telling me that they liked it as well.